Okay, hello everyone. We're just waiting for people to enter into the room. Thank you for joining us today. This is our second webinar series entitled Demo to Impact, Matchmaking with Cascade Funding for Public Authorities. And today the topic will cover the pollution objective of the Mission Ocean. So I think, let's see, we're already 2 minutes past the hour. So I think we're going to slowly get started. We have several presentations to get through today. We have 2 pairings. So that means a public authority along with a demo site or a service provider that will be talking about the Cascade funding they received and the benefits of the partnerships. And then we, depending on time, we will hopefully have about a 10-minute Q&A. And after that, we will also have 3 open calls that will present what they have available. And to kick us off, we will, well, first of all, I just wanted to say that one of the main reasons for doing this webinar series was because we really identified a need. We are involved in several Cascade funding projects. We're also the administrators of some of those funds. And it came to our attention that a lot of public authorities were not aware of these public funds, of this open call, these opportunities. And they didn't see how it applied to them, what were the benefits. The demo sites also had a bit of difficulty in terms of how to take up that relationship and how to go forward with the relationship. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to get together the Cascade funding that has happened over the past 2 years, to 3 years, and have those partnerships talk to the audience about the benefits that they've received from becoming and joining and applying for the open call. And so this is kind of how the idea birthed. And we were also covering each objective of the Mission Ocean. So the first one we've already done was the restoration. Today we're doing pollution. And then on the 16th of January, we are also doing the blue economy. And so that's it. And so my name is Valerie de Liedekerk. I'm here at the Atlantic International Research Center, and I'm also head of the Ocean Policy and Stakeholder Engagement. And I was also the coordinator of the Blue Mission Atlantic and Arctic Lighthouse. And we're very pleased to have today with us Loïc Blanchard, who's from DGRDT, and who will present the plans and the open call, philosophy, and what's behind it. And so I'll shortly give him the floor. And before I do that, we also will have a moderator today. And Ellie, who's here but has not put her last name on, Ellie Chartereva, if I hope I pronounced that correctly from memory, she will be moderating this webinar today. And then at the end, I will come back at the very end. So we're going to try and really finish on time this time. So our 3 o'clock Central Time will be our ending time. Okay, I pass the floor over to Loïc. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hopefully you can see me and hear me correctly. I'm not sure. I don't see myself, so I don't know. That's
Yes, we can see and hear you, like, oh.
Excellent. Very good. So I will share my screen. And you can see my screen as well.
Yes, in presentation.
So is that, yeah, okay, very good. So I'll try to be relatively quick. As I'm not sure to who exactly I'm speaking to in terms of exposure, understanding and knowledge with the mission, I will start with some slides explaining a bit the political concept and background behind it. And then towards the end of the slide, we'll focus on the associated region concept. So first of all, thank you very much for the invitation and the opportunity given to make that presentation. So as was said, my name is Loïc Blanchard. I'm working in the European Commission, DG Research and Innovation, dealing with ocean, seas, and water, but I'm also part of the Mission Secretariat, which is a structure inside the Commission that has been set up to facilitate and support the work of the mission manager of this mission. And the Secretariat is shared with another DG, which is DG Maritime Affairs. This is why there are two names on the slide and not only me. But my colleague, unfortunately, today could not attend the seminar. So the mission was set up in 2021 as a mechanism to engage and mobilize broadly different type of stakeholders around key objective of ocean, seas, and water. And the idea behind was to develop and demonstrate innovative solution that could deployed at time at scales to address those challenges. So I will go to, and those challenges here, they are captured on this slide where you can see the main three specific objectives. So from restoration of marine and freshwater ecosystem, objective 2, pollution prevention and elimination, and objective 3, development of the blue economy. They are subdivided further by more precise and quantitative objectives. We're not going into detail. And all this mission and this initiatives is also has to be enabled by two larger concept or enabling condition, which is one is this public mobilization and engagement, but also the concept of the digital ocean and water knowledge system. Some of you might be more familiar with it, with the digital twin of the ocean. So was launched in 2021 up to 2030. It's divided into basically two phases. First phases was piloting different initiatives from 21 to 25, and there's a second phase, which is the deployment phase of the mission, which is really supporting the deployment of the different technology on site, at time, on scale, from 26 to 2030. And for this, this is the support mostly come from the framework program. So you see in detail the different calls and their translation in terms of projects. So we are currently evaluating the 2025 call, and we'll still have 2 years, 26, 27. In total, for all the period, we should be up to now. We have funded more or less 500 million euro, correspond to 80 projects, 180 projects, and at the end of the whole period should be around 700 million. And yeah, you average, you calculate, you can see depending on the year, but you're between 15 and 25 projects per year. So this is quite a massive source of information and resources. So what does that mean, stakeholder and different stakeholders? So one of the idea, and I'm coming progressively to the concept of associated regions, is that we have in this first phase of the mission developed a series of pilot initiatives where we trying to set up system or instrument dedicated to the needs of certain stakeholder. And you have here one of them, or I will put only the one in red, because this is where we will go, where we see in particular regions, but also it could be also local authorities and bodies, quite key in deploying the solution in their context at their level. For this to happen, we have decided to set up quite a new instrument for the mission. It's an instrument that existed in a different framework program because it's using the concept of cascade funding, which is the possibility given to the beneficiary of the fund to launch additional call and provide third-party financing. And it's a way of the idea behind was to share practices, support regions that might not have the necessary expertise, building, or resources to learn from the others. It's also questions of replicating good practices. And so we have decided in the different calls to, so not all the calls have cascade funding options, but you see on the slide that up to now we have 28, and I think, 28 in total. When I say cascade funding or financial support to third parties is the same thing. And so they cover different projects and different stakeholders. You can see you can go even to schools or projects with art. More recently, and I see I think George there on my screen, we have launched also a bigger project, a community-led pilot action, which are those 12.5 million euro initiatives at the sea basin level, which also look at providing third-party financing to support the designation, development of transition agenda or community-led. The call were just launched. It's also another potential opportunity. They are sea basin based. It's also a potential other opportunity for you to apply and develop your idea. So here it's the same thing presented in a different manner. So across the objective of the mission, which projects have, there's a lot of acronyms, and they can all be found on the mission implementation platform. You can see which project has associated regions. You can also, and I think the Valerio, the organizer, can share the presentation. You can also find this information through the dashboard that is on the mission implementation platform if you're curious. So among the projects, if you look, I was saying 28 projects is 1/3 of the project we're funding that have associated, that have cascade funding call. In total, so far, we have 79 organizations from 52 regions in the EU, representing more or less 7.4 million that have expressed interest in being associated to those calls. They are present in all the lighthouse, so all across Europe, but they are mostly interested in objective one of the mission, which is nature restoration. So, and to a lesser extent, objective two, but very few on the blue economy. Next slide is it should be objective two. Yeah, the title is has not been updated, but this is the region associated to the objective two. This is the topic of today, which is the pollution. So as I said, lesser extent. The emphasis of the current call are on mostly on remediation of plastic and microplastic, and some projects on chemical contamination, and some on monitoring data. I don't have the. We are currently looking and screening with the mission implementation platform and the executive agency senior to understand better the current profile of the regions, their interest and their scope. with for us to understand whether or not we will continue, extend it, broaden it in future calls. I think it's already, yeah. So this I will close here. I have left at the end of but I think I've sent it to you, Valerie. So the whole presentation, I have a series of slides who explain the whole concepts, the reason why applying, and different resources. But I don't want to be too long, so you have more time to discuss and exchange. I will be able to stay, I think, up to 2:40 to listen in particular to the pairing initiatives, and then I will have to go. Again, thank you very much for the invitation and good collaboration and exchange in this workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, we move on to Ellie.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Luc, for this very nice outline of the associated regions and the FSTP mechanism behind. I have fixed the issue with my name, so now you have my full name. It's Eli Shtereva. I'm a project manager at F6S. I'm also having the absolute pleasure to be an open call manager of the iMermaid project. We are going to start with a presentation exactly from iMermaid. We had 2 open calls for associated region. iMermaid is dealing with tackling contaminants of emerging concern. And today with us, we have one of the associated regions that has concluded their participation in our 9 months program, and they're going to share with us the results from their collaboration with the iMermaid project. This is Yurigir municipality from Turkey. The representative from the municipality is Nika, and he's going to present in collaboration with the solution provider from the iMermaid project from the University of Florence, developing a heavy metal sensor box as part of our key exploitable results. And this is going to be Serena presenting on the side of iMermaid. So Nika, the floor is all yours. Please stick with the time of 8 minutes so we can move forward and leave some space for potential questions.
Hello, everyone. Again, thanks, Eli, for presenting me. My name is Nika. Today, I will be representing Yüreğir municipality from Turkey. And let me just share my screen in a can you please let me know when you will see the screen, and I will start our presentation.
Screen is here. Just do it in full screen mode, and you're good to go.
Perfect, thank you. I will be presenting with Dr. Serena Lasky from University of Florence, but I will start and then we will exchange our roles. So as I mentioned, I represented the Yüreğir municipality. We participated in iMermaid open call, first open call. For integrated monitoring and remediation for heavy metal pollutions, and the main goal of the project was to test the sensor which was developed by University of Florence for heavy metal pollutions in the Seyhan River, and the need for the project was due to growing pressures from agriculture, industry, and urban wastewater in the Seyhan River. As I mentioned, we had in Seyhan River pollution episodes. However, due to there is established routine monitoring. However, we also wanted to test some other methods for monitoring heavy metal pollution to detect episodic pollution events. And as I mentioned, the project goal was to test and validate also rapid electrochemical sensing method. I will start about our collaboration, including stakeholders. But first of all, I want to mention that due to our participation in the open call, we were provided by resources and know-how and structured mentorship which enabled us to transfer know-how. And we also participated in a study tour in Florence, where our project team went to Florence, and we had 2-day training sessions in the university. And Dr. Serena explained our team how to use the sensors, and it wasn't, of course, the only one. We were having regular meetings. And in the end, this transfer of know-how would be one of the biggest achievements of this project. However, from the Turkish side of the project, Hürrem municipality was the project lead and coordinator. Other than that, in the project, there was also involved Adana Water and Sewerage Administration, which was our biggest partner in terms of technical partnership, field sampling, and validation. Also, we had researchers from Çukurova University and Adana Science and Technological University in our project team. And we were in our stakeholder meetings, we had colleagues from Adana Metropolitan University to align the goals in a more regional dimensions. And of course, I have to mention the mentors from University of Florence and SMAT, who were helping the project throughout the 9 months. And the role is really huge in terms of to measure the success that we've done within this 9 months. Now, I would like to give the floor to Serena, who will present the technical solution, which was developed by the University of Florence, and then I will continue.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I will give you a short explanation on how it works, the solution that we proposed. The solution that was developed in the iMermaid project, and which is devoted to the detection of a certain family of heavy metals in aqueous solution. What we developed, it was an fully automated, what we call heavy metal box, which is a device which is integrating heavy metal sensors, which are the sensitive part that can be used to detect heavy metals. And these sensors, which are miniaturized, you have to think to devices which are very similar to the strips that are used for the glucose auto monitoring. The strategy is very similar to that, but what we have done is to develop a special sensor with special surface modification in order to give them, to make them sensitive against heavy metals. These sensors were integrated in an automated system that we call automated box, in which there is a pumping system to take the sample from the site in which we need to perform the measurement. A special program which apply a sequence of electrochemically applied potential that are characteristic for heavy metal detection, a system for the signal acquisition and elaboration, and a PC which control everything and can send the results in the cloud, and a sealed container for the waste after that the measurement is carried out. Everything is embedded in a completed structure that can be used for on-site measurements. I have to puntualize that for the open solution, we cannot provide the full metal box because we have just one prototype developed for the main project. What we provided were the sensors and the spare parts to perform one-shot measurements. That means that the beneficiary can have from the project and the founding can provide all the instrumentation to build up the system and to replicate the same solution, but as a one-shot measurement. That means one sample, one measurement. From the technical point of view, for us, the results in terms of analytical significance are exactly the same. Of course, there is not automatization, but for us it is a chance to apply our solution in an external case to have the chance to evaluate the feasibility of this and the applicability of this solution in real cases. Here, just to give you a short advice, there is a picture of the results that we obtain by applying our system during measurement. There is a software which controls the measurements. Measurements can be evaluated by screen. The analysis is fully quantitative because from the signal that we obtain, we have two informations. The metal, which is present in the sample, and its concentration that can be evaluated by using the calibration curve provided by the instrument. So, Nika, please, you can go on with the...
Thank you, Serena. I will share pictures from our study tour in Florence, where we had our trainings in the laboratory of the University of Florence. These are also pictures from the sampling process in the Seian River, which we did over the summer. And finally, the pictures of our laboratory setup, where we were performing one-shot measurements. So we were bringing the samples from the river, and we were performing the measurements in the laboratory shown in the pictures. I will also talk about the challenges that we had within these 9 months. For our municipality, it was the first time, first experience to apply an electrochemical heavy metal sensor in the real field conditions, so it needed some adjustments. Also, we needed to learn new analytical techniques, calibration steps, and data interpretation, and also to adapt protocols to local river conditions. Also, when it comes to real sampling and samples analysis, as a result, we obtained good results for lead, copper, and cadmium. However, we also noticed that zinc needs to have more investigations due to matrix effect. And this matrix effect required filtration, dilution, and use of standard addition methods. As a conclusion, this electrochemical sensor is not a universal solution. However, it can be modulated on the base of sample complexity when it comes to heavy metal monitoring. And Serena will also say a few words about the challenges from a university's point of view.
Just to ask you to wrap it up in 1 minute, because we need to move to the next presentation.
Oh, yes, very rapidly for us. Of course, the main challenge was to perform a training and adaptation to unskilled personnel and to adapt the system to environmental variability, because this is a specific use case, but between the different use cases, we needed to, let's say, adapt and modulate the system on the basis of the field conditions. And of course, another point was to convince, or let's say, to overcome the skepticism that sometimes stakeholders can have regarding to the introduction of new technologies respect to the traditional laboratory-based methods. And of course, the achievement and the advantages for us was to demonstrate that we are able as a research group to build up systems that can be used for practical analysis and for on-site application. Through the use case, we demonstrated also that it was possible to implement our solution on site and in real cases. And by the way, this can increase our visibility in research and policy circle in order to attract any other collaboration grants and so on, because as a university, we are mainly a research center. So for us, everything that can attract for us something that can improve our research is an advantage.
Thank you, Serena. I will just try to conclude it pretty quickly. I skipped one slide, but I just want to know I just want to advise every other public authorities to apply for Cascade fundings, because it helps to build cross-sector partnerships that usually don't happen in terms of local stakeholders and also other partnerships across countries. And it enables small municipalities to access high-level scientific expertise, and it it increases long-term capacity building and replication potential. And just a small advice from us for municipalities and local authorities to engage local municipal companies in the projects, to also involve representatives from academia, from universities, and to be flexible when they expect when they encounter some technical problems during the implementation. And also to build long-term networks. That will be it from our side. I hope we managed in time, but thank you for your attention to our presentation. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nika. Thank you, Serena, for presenting. This was an excellent collaboration also from our perspective, specifically having this out-of-the-box approach between municipality that is actually testing a technological solution and also learning from our internal pilot cases. So thank you for that. I hope that there are going to be questions afterwards. And now we're moving to the second presentation, which is from the Remedies project. Amber Badik from Smilo is going to be leading this presentation. As a request, please stick with the 8 minutes timing.
Yes, hello everyone. So next slide, please. So first, maybe I'm going to present what is Smilo. So basically what we do is to support small islands toward their sustainability. We help them in sustainable management resources. So in water management, waste management, in energy, in biodiversity and landscape. And so we help them with methodology. So we help them with a labeling process. So first, we work with all the stakeholders on islands. We work with fishermen, but also agriculture sectors and tourism sectors, university, civil society. And we try to create like a sort of shared governance. And then we do with them like a diagnostic and strategic an action plan. And then we try to find fundings to put in place to implement solutions that help to reach the objective that are fixed for 5 years. And so we have like more than 50 islands in our network and islands from Europe also. And so we work on the European project, obviously, to find some fundings to help to reach the objective. So next slide, please. So in particular, we work with the Remedies project. So this project is under the Restore Our Ocean and Water mission, and is a project that help to find some solution to fight plastic pollution in Mediterranean. And so we work to do so. We work on 3 pillars. So the first one is detection and monitoring of the waste, the plastic waste. But also the second pillar is to collect and valorize the plastic waste. And last but not least, the third one is to prevent plastic pollution, so to cut at the sources the pollution. And I think in particular for islands, it's the most important part because obviously they are not related to the mainland, and it's easier if you cut from the sources. So next slide, please. At Smilo, so we work in this project in particular as lead partner for one demo site that is Porquerolles Island. This island is an island that is in the network of Smilo since 2017, and they are also in the labeling process since 2018. So we work with them on the 5 thematic that I mentioned before, and we work in particular on plastic pollution because there is a lot of tourists. So it's a small island with only 350 inhabitants, but per year there is around like 500,000 visitors on this island. So it creates a lot of plastic waste, as you can imagine. And so we try to find solutions with this project. And next slide, please. In particular, in the third pillar, we work on the beach litter monitoring. So we try to see which type of pollution is facing the island. And so we do like a collection of plastic waste following the EU Marine Litter Protocol on 1 beaches. And what we find the most on this beach is, of course, plastic bottle caps, but also cotton buds. Even if it's now forbidden in France and in most of the EU countries. And we found also polystyrene and wastewater treatment filters. So it's a way to see what we can find the most, and also what we could do, because also we find cutleries, for example, and so we try to find like a solution that we could implement. And next slide, please. But we work also in this project with Kerkena, because they were an open call, the open call 2 with remedies. And so Kerkena is also an island that is in the Smilo network. And so we work with them since also 2017. So they also have like a strategic, an action plan with objective with reduction of plastic. And so what we did, it was more on the third pillar of the remedies project, is more how to cut from the sources. And so we installed 2 water fontaine, atmospheric water generator. So it's producing drinking water from air humidity. So basically it captures the humidity of the air and transforming it into water. And so it's good for this island because it's not related directly to the mainland with water pipelines, so they don't have any water. They have like a desalinization station, but it's not enough, and it's not producing water, really potable water. So they use a lot of plastic bottles. So this innovation, it's a start, because also we install a reverse osmosis system in every schools on the island. So we had already collected tanks, so we have the rainwater, but we needed to filter it. And so thanks to this innovation, it gives to 2,600 pupils waters, and so it's a good way to reduce the plastic pollution with plastic bottle that we can find everywhere on this island. Next slide, please. And so other initiative that has been developed in this open call on Kerkena Island is the shopping without plastic. So there they use a lot of plastic bags. So we wanted to do a first action in order to raise awareness about plastic pollution and how to put another items that could replace the plastic bags. So we create bags from craft paper bags, and we distribute it on the local markets. And we also create a charter to commit all the shopkeepers that are around this market to try to not use anymore the single-use plastic bags. And next slide, please. To complete with what we did on this market and with the shopkeepers around, we wanted to find like local value chain alternative to plastic in order to really create and suggest an alternative that is really not a single-use one. And so we try to recreate, revival the traditional skills that they have on this island with palm trees leaves. So basically they use the branches of the palm trees, the date palm trees, and they create like some object with it that could be basket, that could be used for the market, for example. But also it was to work on sustainable fisheries because they use a lot of traps in the fish sectors. Before it was they used the palm trees the palm trees leaves, but since like 5 years they use plastic one. And so we tried with this project to make to revive this traditional skills in order to put again some material that are biodegradable and reusable, and not the plastic one that of course harm the ecosystem, the marine ecosystem around the islands. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Amber, for your presentation. Now I think we can move to the Q&A session. I just want to see whether we have anything popped in the chat box for everybody. Please use the Q&A chat box to ask your questions, and we can direct them to our speakers from both the I Am Mermaid and Remedies project. As of this point, I see only one posted about potentials for collaborations with the different stakeholders that are here. What I can say is that the following presentations now are going to be on the open call opportunities for 3 projects. So maybe here you're going to find additional opportunities for collaboration. And additionally, I can ask Valerie in case there is anything additional to state. Valerie, just to mention something about my video. I have stopped it on purpose because I needed to plug in my computer. I'm going to start it in 2 minutes, okay? So this is why it's turned off. I'm going to start it in a minute. In the meantime, is there anything else that we can answer to our dear participant regarding this question?
In terms of the opportunities and to do research or to maybe find some funding, yes, I think you've already mentioned, Ellie, we are going to have 3 presentations on open calls. So these are our opportunities to apply, so to write proposals to apply for some funding in order to do the work that you're interested in doing. And each open call will develop and talk a little bit more about what they have available. In terms of working at the research institutions themselves, I think the best is always to go online and look at their career or jobs website to see if they have anything available at the time, or possibly to reach out to somebody that's presented today and get in touch and form that relationship and network. I had a couple of questions for the two presentations there, if I may, Ellie.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm really curious about is, so obviously this was an opportunity for a public authority to get some money in order to scale or replicate a blue innovation around pollution. And so I'm kind of curious to know what role did the Cascade funding play in promoting trust and buy-in from local communities? And also, perhaps, how did this opportunity enable collaboration that might not have otherwise happened without the funding? Those are some of my first questions. I have many more. Thanks.
Can I answer? I guess it's for us. Thanks for your question, Valerie. I would like to say that usually public authorities have limited budgets, so it's difficult to accommodate funds for such projects, and that's what the first point I would say that it was very important, which would not usually happen, especially in the political context. And when it comes to, can you please remind me what was your second part of your question, if I might?
Yes, so it was around the enabling collaboration that might not have happened.
Yes. So, as I mentioned in the presentation, we collaborated with the sewage and administration authority, which operates in the city. Just to give you a context, Urain municipality is like a district municipality, which is part of bigger Adana Metropolitan University municipality. So usually such collaborations don't happen on a daily basis, and that's what I would like to underline, that this project enabled it. Plus, we collaborated with NGOs and from universities, which don't usually happen when it comes to environmental cases. So that's more biggest cases what I would like to underline. Yes. Thank you.
Maybe I could complete. I don't know. Yeah. I agree with Nika that obviously this funding helped the municipality to implement solutions on the ground. And for example, for the municipality of Kerkena in Tunisia, it's helped a lot because it was a big amount of money to implement 3 big initiatives that really reduce the plastic pollution on the island. And it's the first step because now they are interested to continue to find new solutions to have more potable water without using plastic. So it helped a lot because it's funding that if this fund wasn't there, I mean, they wouldn't have implemented this kind of solutions. So yeah, I think it's helping a lot because every new funding is helping obviously to fight for plastic pollution. And for the collaboration, I don't know, we already collaborate with them, but and also we already collaborate with all the stakeholders on the island. So it didn't like really like create new things, but it's more about the opportunity of funding that was really helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Valerie, do you have additional questions? I see we have one more in the chat box. Should I go through it?
Yes, please go to that one first. And if there's time, I'll come back to mine. Thank you.
Okay, so there were actually two questions, but for one of them, I have asked additional information because I'm not specifically sure about which platform the participant is referring to. So when we get it, we're going to go back to it. And the other question is about the presentations that were provided and how local governments, especially municipalities, have limited financial abilities. And the specific question is, how can Cascade funding be aligned with the development priorities of global South nations so that ecosystem restoration and pollution control are not sidelined by economic growth imperatives? Look, I think that the question is for you, and I see that your hand is raised. So can you please take over?
Yeah, well, so yeah, my intention, I raised my hand before the question was asked because I put in the chat different resources where participants can see different funding opportunities. They can also navigate, but I'm sure Valerie can share that also through the mission platform because they are quite different initiatives. So if you could repeat, Ellie, because the question was,
how can Cascade funding be aligned with the development priorities of global South nations so that ecosystem restoration and pollution control are not sidelined by economic growth imperatives? And the question is coming from India.
It's quite a challenging and complex questions. One is the eligibility of the participant accesses the funding, which is the Cascade funding. It's part of the Horizon program, so it is open to the country that are associated to the framework program. So it's one thing. And of course, I mean, they respond to objectives of our work program for the mission. So it is true that, so they respond to our objectives. But the question is, however, very interesting because it echoes as well reflection in the EU, how you reconcile competitiveness, economic development with natural restoration is something we're still working on quite a lot. And recently, it's more the competitiveness agenda that seems to be taking a bit the advantage over the other one. But in our current call, we do not have integrate specific objective of the global south in those goals. Maybe that might come, but we do not have a strong international dimension here for those specific calls. I am not aware, probably there are other calls with other part of the Commission, DG International Partnership, for example, where they are probably initiatives, but I'm not aware of that. So this, I'm sorry, this I'm not aware. But for our call, we really respond to our objectives. Some of them might coincide with some of the global south objectives. So probably there they are potentially win-win situations. So I know for specific for India, there has been a call in the other part of the framework program on international research cooperation specific to India and so joint research cooperation on freshwater, water, and plastic collection, prevention, and reduction. This I could probably find the reference to that call. I think it's still open. If that helps.
Thank you, Luc, for your
Unfortunately, I will have to leave you, but I think it's very good. I think I just wanted to say the last words from Valerie. I mean, it's very important to get as much as possible feedbacks on the added value of those associated regions and to what extent they made a difference. If they would not have been put in place, things that would not have happened. and I understand the participants, meaning the limited financial capability of local authority. And for us, it's very important to get those lessons from the different regions and different conditions. So thank you very much.
Thank you as well for you joining us, and we definitely have a lot of lessons learned. We're going to provide you with everything that we have from our project. Valerie, I saw that you have your hand raised. Do you want to add something?
Yes, no, I mean, Loic did touch upon it, the work that Europe is doing and the collaboration they're building with India. And I can put something in the chat later as well. But I just wanted to mention that I find the question, yes, very valid, and a great question and a challenging one to answer. And obviously, India has Innovate India, and with all of the blue innovation, and EU has also their new directive on innovation. I think there's definitely an opportunity for Europe and India to talk and come together and align and find those synergies and see how we can also support each other a bit more in the halls of of science and innovation and forums. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. There is a follow-up question, which I think is going to be answered again from the presentations that are following. It is, can potential fundings also be used for these projects in different coastal regions around the world? So this is a bit touching upon what we are currently discussing, but as well, right now, 3 presentations are going to follow with the specific open calls that are open for Horizon Europe, for European member states, and also for associated countries that are eligible to apply under Horizon Europe. There's a specific document which is available on the European Commission website, which is listing those countries that are eligible to be applying under those open calls. And then for the specific projects, there are official documents that are additionally identifying which countries are eligible for those calls for less called financial support to third parties. So now we're going to learn a bit more from the presenters regarding those 3 opportunities. And I would like to start first with Blue Action AA. And here, at least in my agenda, I see that Alessandro Colombo is going to present this presentation.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, just we see a lot from your screen right now. If you can focus on the
Okay, sorry,
the main presentation.
my fault. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's normal.
Okay, can you see now?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So first of all, thank you to my colleague for the opportunity to present in a nutshell the open call for the Blue Action within the Blue Action EA project. So for the sake of time, I will go fast, but I will give you also some content. So beforehand, you can also reach us for further information. So just a few words to frame, so to say, this call, which is open under Blue Action EA. So Blue Action EA, with Blue Action EA, we are trying, or we are aiming to, let's say, to empower communities, especially coastal indigenous areas in the Atlantic and Arctic, to move forward from phase 1 of the mission ocean, so from the piloting phase to the deployment and upscaling phase. And to this end, the call that we have open actually is framing in a more comprehensive cascade funding mechanism, because we have now currently opened the community-led pilot action call, but we will also have 2 more call that will be open next year for transition agenda. And so for and both of these call, and also including the community-led pilot action call, are focused on initiatives that pilot or implement innovative solution and aiming at achieving 1 or more of the 3 objectives of the mission ocean, including the objective 2 on pollution. And so to turn regional and local communities as agent of change in a long-term perspective. and so towards also reaching efforts in restoring and protect marine and freshwater ecosystems. So in particular, through the call, through this open call, the Blue Action AA is willing to provide financial aid through cascading grants to organization and small consortia, as well as technical assistance, so to say horizontally, and capacity building resources to reach restoration challenge, to address the restoration challenges. Sorry. So just a few words on the eligibility criteria, let's say. So as was saying Ellie also on are eligible organization from countries from the European, from member states, of course, but also including outermost regions and also countries that are associated to Horizon Europe and also overseas countries and territories. A different type of entities are eligible, so from NGOs, CSO, and cultural and educational organization to research and academia, but also from the private sector, small, medium enterprises, and of course, regional and local public authorities are also eligible. Some figures in terms of financial support for the community, for this community-led pilot action call. So this is a lump sum mechanism, so to say. So in terms of, and will run as per sub-grants. So the expected budget per each project would be between 200K and 2 million euros. And we are expecting to fund, to select at least 5 projects with an expected duration for each project between up to 24 months. And as it is a lump sum, pretty much all kind of eligible, of course, are eligible. So from personal to purchase to traveling or subcontracting those overrides, of course, with different sharing. And I'm just going to finish to give the floor to the other speakers. Just a few information. You can also scan the QR code to the call, which is open currently, and together with an expression of interest, which also is open at this moment. The call will close on May of the next year, and we are in the project that will be funded are expected to start on around December of 2026. If you have more interest in know more, you can go at our website. And we also have a specific help desk for potential applicants to send us inquiries or requests for qualification. So you can find also in the website a specific box for this help desk, and also you can reach us through these 2 emails for a specific question related to the call. You can write to technical.support@blueactionea.eu. And that's it from my side, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Alessandro. Very clear, and it's excellent that there is such a big window for applications until May, so participants can really prepare themselves and submit some good quality applications. Now, in order for us to be able to leave some space, maybe at the end of all the presentations, we're swiftly moving to the next one, which is from Task Restore Met, and I see George here with us today. So who is going to be presenting?
Okay, thank you. That will be me. Let me share. Okay, full screen mode. Right. Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity to present, which is very timely, to present our call. So I'm not going to bore you with a lot of details that you can find on our website, but just focus on the calls that are open as we speak. So this is focusing on the Mediterranean. It's of course a flagship initiative under the EU Mission Ocean. It will run also for 48 months, and we look to catalyze a shift towards sustainable blue economy in the Mediterranean. And there are 10 partners from 8 countries in the Task Restored Med. And as I said, the open call is open as we speak, and the objective is to contribute to the second phase of the mission Ocean, which is all about upscaling and deployment. And this hopefully will come through a transformative change, applying a blue donut concept. I will just we follow the donut economics framework by Kate Raworth, not going to go into details. Although the lighthouse for the Mediterranean is about pollution, we actually include all three pillars of Mission Ocean. So protecting and restoring marine and freshwater ecosystems and biodiversity. The second one on pollution, and the third one is carbon neutral and circular blue economy. So we're going to accept proposals on all these three pillars. Now, what do we offer? We offer, of course, financial support, 9 million of grants, 8 million in this phase, plus 1 million in a second phase. And also we offer technical assistance. We're going to have a suite of tools, we call them RestoreMed tools, that will help proposals to build business and impact case development, policy and legislation analysis, to have access to further funding, but also that will help them to do impact assessment on various issues. Now, two types of open call, community-led actions and transition agendas. The community-led actions are bigger projects, and we're going to devote 7 million on those. We're looking for at least 5 projects. And transition agendas, smaller ones, as we will see, 2 million in total through 2 open calls. And these are dedicated to policy roadmaps. What do we expect? We want projects to integrate this blue donut idea. We want projects to be mature in deployment. Thus, we're looking for high TRL 6 and 7. And we want them to also mobilize and engage with the various communities and especially with local stakeholders. The first one, very, very quickly, the objectives of the community-led action projects is that we want them to demonstrate measurable progress. For this, we will be using KPIs from the Mission Ocean, develop commercial impact and viability, accelerate adoption of solutions. The support for each project will range from 200K to 1.4 million, and maximum amount per third party, per partner, is 500,000. As I said, we are looking for minimum 5 projects to fund. The duration is 24 months, and as you can see, we're looking for proposals with high TRL, but also societal readiness level close to 5, and business readiness level to close to 5. Lump sum. This is the financing scheme, 40% for pre-financing, 45% interim, and 15% as a final. Of course, all of this needs that all the reports will be accepted. The second type, this transition agenda, the smaller ones, here the objective to support national, regional, and local authorities in fulfilling EU legislation and regulatory objectives. So we want to see local and regional roadmaps being developed, policy recommendations, and also governance innovation and regulatory innovations to accommodate possible emerging technologies. The total funding here for this cycle is 1 million. As I said, there will be another one in due course with another million. The maximum amount per third party is 100K. And at this first round, we're looking for a minimum of 10 projects to be funded. Again, lump sum, similar, but not exactly the same with community-led, 40, 40, and 20. And the important dates that possibly you want to know about is that opening date, we opened it last week. There will be an info webinar on December 15th that we will give a lot of information on how the whole thing and the platform and all the application process works. The closing day will be 6 months, so it's at the end of next May. And hopefully the announcement of results will be by the end of September 2026, and we expect to start sometime in October 2026. Yeah, and you can either use the QR code here or get into our webpage that you can find all the information. Thank you.
Thank you, George, for your presentation. And I think it's excellent. One of the points that you have within your code is this pre-financing opportunity, which was a feedback that was provided from municipalities in previous programs, that this is something that they would like to have in order for them to be able to operate and execute the projects in the beginning. So this is very good, and also a very nice window for applications until May again. Thank you for your presentation. Now we're moving to the final one, which is Path for Met, and this is going to be presented by Elias.
Hello everyone, thank you very much, Ellie. Just give me a second to share my screen. All right, so now I guess that you can all see my presentation.
Almost.
Hello again.
It's coming.
Almost? Okay.
Just give it a second. Yes, it's loading. It's still not. Okay, perfect. Now we can see it. You can start.
Okay, great. So I'm Elias Aparellis, as you also said. I work as a project manager at Reframe Food Greece, and today I will present you very quickly the Path for Med open call, which recently opened for applications. So to start with, Path for Med is an innovation action co-funded under Horizon Europe within both missions Restore Our Oceans and Seas by 2030 and the Soil Deal for Europe. So as such, our activities contribute to the objectives and expected impacts of both those missions. In short, our goal is to create pathways towards cleaner waters and soils in the Mediterranean and associated regions in order to achieve economic, social, and environmental sustainability. We're doing this in the project by promoting novel agricultural practices, monitoring techniques, and evidence-based management solutions across 7 demonstration groups, covering a total of 11 demonstration sites located in the Eastern Mediterranean, the Nordics, Ukraine, Spain, Portugal, Italy, and France. These sites actually work as real-life testbeds for testing a set of innovative solutions that are being developed within the project. Here you can see a list with the basic categories we're working on, which are ranging from advanced monitoring systems and indicators to data-driven management tools and nature-based agricultural technologies. So, all right. So now let's see what's the purpose of the open call. In order to ensure the long-term adoption and integration of these technologies I showed you before, it is essential for Path for Med to engage and empower decision makers and public authorities across Europe. Through this open call, we aim actually to place those solutions in the hands of local and regional authorities who are expected to adapt them, implement, and test them according to their local needs and the requirements. So the main objective of the open call is to build the capacity of those public authorities to implement innovative solutions that will reduce fertilizer use and consequently the pollution from excess nutrients. A total of 5 projects will be funded, up to 1,000 euros each. Applicants must be local or regional public authorities, and they are invited to select at least one of the solutions that are developed within the Path for Med project to be implemented in their territory. So please note that the call is limited to eligible countries as defined in our applicants guide, and applicants coming from Path for Med partner countries, unfortunately, are not eligible to apply. So just this is a few words about who is eligible to apply. As I also mentioned earlier, we are talking only for local and regional authorities. Universities and research institutes are not eligible to apply directly, but they can participate through subcontracting if needed to support the implementation. In total, the call covers 28 eligible countries spanning through the South Mediterranean, West Balkans, Black Sea, and the Baltic Sea regions. The selected sub-projects will be implemented over 9 months, divided into 3 different phases. Phase 1 will be the feasibility, Phase 2 replicability, and Phase 3 the scalability. The selected entities will receive the funding on a lump sum basis. No pre-financing is foreseen here, but please note that the first payment is after the deliverable of the first deliverable after the first phase, which is just 1 month, and has to do only with the feasibility. Applications are submitted electronically. We have a platform called opencalls.fund, and we strongly encourage all potential applicants to visit Path4Med website, read the open call documents carefully, and use the templates that we have already there ready for them to help them and guide them through the proposal and the application procedure. The deadline for applications is in January 30, 2026. Finally, and here is my slides, my last slide, you can see here the timeline. We are currently in the second phase, which will close on January 30. Evaluation and selection will take place between February and April 2026, followed by the contracting phase, and the 5 selected projects will start in July 2026 and run until March 2027. And that's all from me, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Elias, for your presentation. Just to emphasize again, we have 3 projects with open calls for associated regions running currently. This is Blue Action AA, Task Restore Med, and Path4Med. My dear colleague Valerie is going to be forwarding and sharing additional information on the materials with the participants. Valerie, we are a bit ahead of time. Do you think we can wait for questions, or maybe we need to close, and then since there are additional webinars for the open calls, participants can move ahead and also ask the specific projects for any additional questions that they might be having.
Yes, thank you. Are there any maybe burning questions? Because we are over time, and I'm just mindful of people's time, obviously. I want to respect that. Did you see anything burning? No, okay.
No,
all right.
No.
Then I would just say maybe we call it there. And I want to thank all the presenters for their great presentations today, and also Ellie for the fantastic moderation. As you mentioned, we will be putting the presentations up on the webpage of the webinar, as long as we get consent, obviously, from the presenters. And there will also be a report coming out at the end once we finalize the 3rd webinar, which is happening again the 16th of January, same time, so from 2 to 3 Central European time. That one will be on the blue economy. Unfortunately, we don't have the registration page yet, but the link will come up on this website I've entered in now, which is where we post all of our webinars. So please keep an eye on that. It'll come out next week for the 3rd one. And if you do have any questions, or we weren't able to answer one of your questions, feel free to email myself. I'll put my email in the chat, and we'll try and follow up with you and the speaker. Please tell us what question, what speaker your question is for, so that way it's easier for us. And that's it. So again, thank you very much. Apologies for overrunning. It's been really great. I've learned a lot, and really enjoy these webinars. And so please do apply, or tell your networks about these open calls. So that's all. And Ellie, any final words?
Thank you all for all the speakers and excellent opportunities that are upcoming now. I really hope that more associated regions are going to learn about this and are going to apply, as from our projects we learned that this is very beneficial for them, but also for our own consortia to be learning from their experience and to be further developing the solutions and methodologies that we are applying within our project. So thank you as well. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.